Hello, hi everyone. So in this video we are going to create our data source in Studio and then put our script there and then test it, see what kind of result that we can get. The first thing that we have to make sure is in here in this sheet, in the script sheet, you probably saw in my previous video, we have this table and I have all this the length for all these coins. Okay, and if you notice carefully, I have different numbers now. Okay, I don't have the same length for all coins. That's not a mistake. That's basically the API that we are using on daily basis, or probably in few days the length is changing automatically, so it is not changing drastically. So if we don't have like changes 1500 to 3000, something like this, we have some changes, but it's more like we are adding few elements into the array. Okay, history array. So make sure that you have the right numbers here. Okay, that's highly important. So it's going to give you this in the third column level the length that we should use in our script. So these are the right numbers that we should have now in our script. So let me show you the script that I have in my parse response body, and you can see here I have updated all the numbers. I have 120, 120, 80, 83, and then 172. Okay, so so make sure that this is done at this point. This is highly important when it comes to when you are going to load the data into your target table. Now we are creating a data source. It is actually going to just load the data into our staging table, but we are not loading directly into our target table. But now if you make sure that these numbers are correct, you will be sure in the end that you have a good source code, okay, for your data source. We don't have any errors. Basically, if you see here, I have the total 11,843. So if you click on load data when you create when you have done with the data source, you will have the message like success and then processed 11,843. You should have that number. If you don't have that number, you have some problem in your code. Okay, that's why I'm showing you first. I'm giving you all this information first before we start to create our data source. Okay, so let's go now into Studio. Click on create application file. For data source, click on create and give it a name. I'm going to have coin history and detail. Let's say details data source. Okay, so the next thing is going to be exactly the same name, but I'm going to just delete data source and then put staging table, because this is a label name for my staging table. So I'm going to put here staging table. Okay, so this is my the database name for my staging table. The type is going to be custom load by script. Now here we are going to add our script. So let's go back here into our sheet, data source load by script. This is the one that we want. I'm going here. Okay, just I'm going to Control A, C. Let's go back here. Just paste our code here. It's kind of messy. I'm going to click at this level. It's going to arrange everything. Okay, so I have my code, I have my coins, I have my for loop. And one thing I forgot to mention as well, sorry, we have created in our data source this I mean we are getting the data for website URL, and then we have ID, slug, symbol, name, UID, and website URL. Okay, all this information. But in my in Flow Designer, if I go back, let me find Flow Designer here. In the parse step for the first request, I don't have initially I didn't have website URL. When we were creating, we didn't have some of these. Okay, make sure that you have here that you have ID, slug, symbol, name, UUID, and website URL. Okay, so you have to add few elements here, and then make sure that you have also ID, symbol, UUID, name, slug, website URL here as well for your coin object, and also in the output variable here in the end, make sure you have all of them here as well. Okay, that's a that's the second thing. And the third one, okay, let's say this is status. The status, it should be published, otherwise when you call the flow designer action from your data source, it is going to fail. So make sure that it's published here. Okay, so we have our code now. We don't need to do anything else than save it. Okay, and if you go to related links, you can test load 20 records to see if it is going to be successful, but I'm sure this one is really good. So I'm going to click on directly load all records. Okay, so what is going to happen at this moment? If everything is good, you can see message creating table. Okay, we are creating at this specific moment the table, the staging table, and it is inserting, it is creating as well all the fields that we have in our data source, like u underscore id. These are the u underscore slug. Okay, these are the database name for our fields. So it is actually creating now, and then also once it is done, it is actually going to get the data and then put the data into our fields, creating records. Okay, so let's see, it is going to take around 2 minutes. Great, so we have a completion code here, which is a success, state is complete, and we have the number here processed is 11,843. Okay, so if I go back, I can show you the number here. If you go to script, you can see here 11,843. So if you make sure in the beginning that you have the right numbers here, it's all good. We have all the data. Now let's see if we have the data is correct, it's proper. So let's click on import set. This is our import set number. Okay, the state is loaded. I'm going to click on that, and you have the tab here, import set rows. So click on that, and then you have all the records here. Okay, you can pick any one of them. So I'm going to click here and see if we have something. And great, Bitcoin, see, but website URL, it is undefined. So I have some sort of problem here. Website u underscore URL. So that's the one that I have here. Okay, let me just check quickly what's going on here. Okay. Coin object. So let me go back to Flow Designer, and so I have website URL. Probably that's the problem here. That's the problem here. The name of the, okay, so this should be website URL with capital, because this is the name that we have in our history array. This is how it is written. So that's not a problem. So the problem is the syntax that we are using here, website URL. That's not a problem. That's just something that we have to rectify. So let's go here, and instead of having capital letter here, I'm gonna have small letter. Okay, finally it was not all good. There was something to change here. Okay, so now it should be proper. So I'm gonna reload one more time. Okay, I made sure that's good. So click on load all records, and then let's see if this time we are going to get the website URL or not. So you can see here for the second time, it just we have the state running. Okay, we don't have any other information here. It's not creating table or putting any creating any fields, because it's already done. Great. So we have the completion code here. Success and processed is 11,843. That's the number that we want. So let's go here into the import set. So this time we have six. You can see here the ending number here is 613. So this is the last one. So I'm going to click on that and see if we have our website URL or not. Great. So I have my website URL. So the problem was the naming that I had in my code. Okay, so I have all the data that I want. These are the historical data for the past 5 years. I have it. Okay, so the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to create our tables, the custom tables, coins tables, and then transform map, put the data, and then we are going to create also crypto table, business rule transform map, and then put the data. Okay, we have only one data source for both table for now. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.